The focus of Clear About Carbon is sustainable and low carbon procurement, and really it's come from a move in policy over the last 5 to 10 years towards more sustainable purchasing, especially in the public sector. And more recently, over the last year or two, especially in the UK, there's been a consideration of low carbon criteria, this time being guided primarily by the private sector. And what we're trying to do in Clear About Carbon is move that across into the public sector, and as an ITM project, really take those learning outcomes, summarise them and offer recommendations for future policy, but also other future projects on sustainable and low carbon procurement, specifically for ESF and the European structural funds. Clear About Carbon, its main outcome is likely to be learning histories for those organisations who are involved in the project. And what we do is trial a number of interventions with the organisations that we work with, so that might be training, coaching, mentoring, it could be producing information sheets or assisting them with one specific procurement process. Through those learning histories, what we can do then is work out how organisational structure, leadership and other variables can really influence how that organisation is able to engage with sustainable and low carbon procurement, and therefore hopefully try and make some type of roadmap or methodology by which other organisations in the future can move towards low carbon and sustainable procurement as well. Clear About Carbon is formed of a partnership between ourselves at Cornwall Development Company, the University of Exeter Business School, Duchy College Royal Business School and the Eden Project. And as individual organisations, we've been considering the low carbon agenda for now a number of years. There's a focus obviously within the University of Exeter Business School on supply chain management and procurement practice. Really what we try to do at CDC is bring together a partnership to drive those aspects forward. So the answer is yes, it's something that the organisations have been thinking about for some time, but it is something that the European Social Fund money has made possible. The specific approach of the Clear About Carbon partnership is firstly the partnership working itself. What we've tried to do is build a partnership where each organisation really brings their best practice to that group. The other thing really that's been specifically quite important in the way that the project has worked and been managed over the last 2.5 years is what we've sort of called targeted dissemination, so making sure the right people know about the work that you're doing. And the mainstreaming work that we've done through both DEFRA and the Department of Health with the National Sustainable Public Procurement Programme. A lot of that has come through involving the right people at the right time, that itself strangely was driven and assisted by our transnational work, which gave us a great opportunity to meet some senior policymakers both from the UK but also from around Europe at events in Central Europe, specifically Brussels. I would give a number of pieces of advice to other people trying to engage with low carbon sustainable procurement. I think the first barrier which a lot of people hit is what we call the carbon literacy barrier, which means that they're not necessarily able to engage with the agenda because they're not familiar with the terminology which the other people in having discussion are using. What we've tried to do there is we've worked with DEFRA to create a publicly available e-learning package, which is now available on the DEFRA website, on the National Sustainable Public Procurement website. It's available free of charge across the public and private sector. Launched a couple of weeks ago, so that resource is now there and available for people to use, and hopefully that will be one of the legacies from our own project, is that can assist both other organisations trying to implement sustainable and low carbon procurement, but also other people trying to run similar projects to ours in the future. There's two main reasons why Clear About Carbon have won this award. The first is that we like to think that we've created an interesting and engaging participant journey for the people that we're working with, and also a variable and flexible participant journey. That means that the organisations that we engage with, they don't all necessarily go through exactly the same process. And in addition to that, on the mainstreaming side, obviously we've done a lot of work with the Department of Health and DEFRA on the National Sustainable Public Procurement Programme, and the e-learning modules which we've just launched through that programme on carbon literacy should have a significant impact across the UK and Europe on levels of carbon literacy within the workforce, with a specific focus on low carbon procurement. It's great to be recognised for the work that we've done through the ESF-Works, and that's on a number of levels really. For myself personally, and the work that I've put into the e-learning programme with the Department of Health and DEFRA, but also for the partnership as a whole, and the work that we've all done together to create this interesting and engaging participant journey. But also it's nice for the wider stakeholder group who have put a lot of time into developing and driving the project forward, whether that's participants, members of our own endorsement and advisory board, or the wider stakeholder group, including the government departments, which have put a significant amount of time into trying to drive the outcomes of this project. And really it's been nice to be recognised on the outcomes of the project as well as just the outputs, and that's really been great for us.